Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another Diablo Immortal video. The new rune system inside of the game is the newest way to diversify your build, boosting specific stats that you're looking to boost. We've done this in different ways in the past, but now it is here via the rune system. In addition to that, we know that we can get them from the Abyssal Verge, we can get them from the Gate to Erebon, as well as you can get them just from them dropping inside of the game, which is how I've gotten some drop to me already as well. It does not happen that often. But I want to look at the runes today and decide which ones are actually good and worth you using, and which ones are ones that you probably are going to want to avoid. Now, of course, there are going to be more runes coming as time goes on. As you can see, more runes will be available in 7 days. So we'll see what is actually to come and maybe redo this video at that point in time. But for now, you could potentially be getting some runes. So let's take a look at them and see what's what. So we have the new rune. And as you can see, all of them have the base attribute of equipment increased by 3%. That is standard across the board. But here we have the special attribute, and this one does damage to elites increased by 2%. This is one that I would not be very excited about. It's for open world related stuff, and it's just not going to be one that I would think would be one that you prioritize. If I were doing a tier list, this would be lower on the tier list. We'd probably go ahead and give it like a C tier or something like that. But I don't think we're going to do this as a tier list. I think we're just going to say, is it good or is it not so good? This is one that I would probably avoid. Next up, we have the Weh. The Weh rune. This one, damage taken while suffering loss of control is decreased by 2%. Now, this depends on if you're a person that likes to boost stats that you get from taking damage versus doing damage. Here, though, while suffering loss of control, I like this one a little bit more than the previous one. This could also be used for, in different versions of the game, not just versus elite. So it would be a better one, more like a A tier rune, if you ask me. Now we have the Nye rune. Damage taken while moving is decreased by 1.5%. When you're playing a build like a Tempest, like a Barbarian, like a Crusader, or any class where you do damage while moving, this is a great one as well. It's again on the defensive side of things, but could very well fit your build. I would call this one an A tier rune as well. Definitely one that I would consider using myself. Now we have the Peer. Damage increased 2% to enemies below 30% life. Could be used in very many different areas of the game. Your damage is increased the lower their life is, or essentially when they're below 30%, you drop 2% more damage. We're not talking about huge percentages of damage here, but it is additional damage. Again, A tier gem for rune, for me. Now, if you take a look over here, base attribute of equipment increased by 4% for the Lux rune. Continual damage taken decreased by 4%. I like this one a lot. Again, I also like the boosted base attribute. That's going to be a big change right there as well. And continual damage taken decreased by 4% is also nice. It's going to keep you from anything that's continuously damaging you. It's going to damage you less. I like this one a lot. Another A tier if you ask me. Now we're still getting the base attribute by 4% increase. Damage to full life enemies increased by 5%. This one's all right. I think like Heliquary or something like that. The full life enemy is only full life at the very beginning of the match, and then it's no longer full life. It's going to have lost a bit of life, and you're not going to get that increased damage. 5% is a big increase, though, and it's going to allow you to do some good damage right off the bat. This is the Ord rune. I would give this one a B tier. Again, if you guys disagree or have any discussion that you want to have about any of the runes that I speak of in particular here, feel free to drop into the comment section below and leave those notes, and we could take a look and maybe have a deeper discussion. Next, we're still getting the base attribute increased by 4%. Block chance increased by 2%. There's no other standard right here. It's just your block chance is increased. I like this one. I'm going to call this one an S tier, although it's only 2%. It's got the 4% attribute bonus, and it's just going to work all the time. That's the Sil rune. Now we have the Im rune. Attack speed is increased by 2%. Beautiful. Very easily right here, an S tier. More damage, more quickly. No prerequisites. It just happens all the time. And the final is the bowl, and your primary attacks have a 6% chance to reduce enemy attack and movement speeds by 20% for 3 seconds. This is another fantastic one. As you can see, they have gotten better as we've dropped lower and lower, and we could assume that even better ones will be coming soon. This one here is another S tier rune, if you ask me. Now, can we get a sneak peek? No, we can't get a sneak peek of the other one. So 10 runes we have at our disposal right now that we could play around with, that we could upgrade, and that we could kind of work with. And I would assume, like gems inside of the game, these are things that you can also, we're going to be getting a lot of new ones all the time. With that being said, if we come over to the market really quickly, you'll notice we can sell these runes. Not that you should, but let's just go to sell really quickly. As you can see, we got a lot of gems that we could sell. If I want to sell these runes, let's see what the kind of value. We could get 4,000 platinum right now. That's the going price approximately for this rune. They actually hold quite a bit of value. The value that I've seen so far is more like a 2-star gem than like anything else. So there is some good platinum value inside of these as well, whether you're someone that decides to try to sell them or not. If you get the ones you don't want, of course you could throw them on the market, but potentially others won't want them either. So something worth noting there that I just wanted to share. Also, when we go into events today, it's Monday. Yesterday was Father's Day. I hope you guys had a great Father's Day. We have the Cursed Goliath is still going on inside the game. There are 3 more days that we can participate in this. We have the Phantom Gallery has begun. A lot of people believe that this is one of the best ways to grab yourself legendary gems and orbs. Some good value can be had here. I've done this in the past. When you do 2 draws, 4 draws, 7, 9, and 10, you get these extra rewards right here. And the Alchemist to your side. So a lot of value here, but it also costs a lot to get there, to get all of the value out of it. Survivor's Bane, though, is the one that I really wanted to point out. This here has reset itself for the week, so you can now, again this week, go ahead and jump in and get all of the easy battle points, which is really the reason I like to do it. I also do love the game mode, but as you can see, just 5 games, you get a bunch of that, and then you could also get defeating enemies, a whole bunch of battle points to progress your battle pass pretty easily right here, just from doing this. Elites, all of this. So I would recommend that you jump in, do Survivor's Bane today to make sure that you don't miss out. And so you could also progress, make sure you get all the stuff on the top row as well. But it's a pretty easy one for you to get. Defeat 2 bosses in this week, 80 battle points, great progression there. And then you could further progress your battle pass, which I actually just collected all of my battle pass rewards this morning. As I woke up, being that it's Monday, we've gotten ourselves, and it was a light week. It was a busy week with work, so I didn't get in as much as I wanted to. But we got ourselves to Battle Pass 17. We got 27, sorry, and we have 17-ish days left on the Battle Pass. So, of course, make sure you get all of your value out of that. But the runes are broken down. Love to hear your comments down below, whether you agree with me or whether you think that you have some different ideas about some of the runes we discussed.